did on unit rate. This one is called Best Buys, and what it's about is being able to look at different products and how they're listed on sale and know, am I getting the best deal? Finding the best deal. And something that you will find, when you go to the grocery store, is there's always listed, I should have an example and show you. Let me just find it for you. Grocery store labels. Probably able to find one pretty quick and easy. Okay, right here. What this tells you, it says unit price. See that? So it says unit price and it gives you something per ounce, which is an American measure of weight, of mass. But if you had this and then you had about 5, this is Cheerios, you had about 5 different products side by side, you could tell by looking at this by the unit price how good a deal you're getting, which one is actually the cheapest. So it's a good thing. I use it at the grocery store all the time. You look for this little label and you find the one that gives you the best unit price. So how much do you pay per ounce, right? So back to our note though in our lesson. So I started right away right into this. You see I got Charlie, it's late at night, so Charlie's sleeping. Basically, we often just, instead of, our unit price isn't always, most often in the grocery store, it won't be per milliliter. It'll be listed per 100 mils or 100 grams. So I just wanted to do a few that way just so you see how it works. So we say you have 3 products for sale, and I know you're probably writing already, but you got 3 products for sale. One is 90 cents for 300 mils, one's $1.50 for 700 mils, and one's $2.29 for 2 liters. And I don't know what that could be. Maybe milk. And we want to say, well, which one is the cheapest per milliliter? And how do you do that? So we've set these up before, and you look at it as a ratio. So 90 to 300 is what per 100 mils? Okay, 90 to 300 is N to 100. And we find out, we're going to put this one in terms of 100, so that then we can come back and compare this one, right? So this one, same thing. $1.50, which is 150 cents. Again, we want everything in the same measures, otherwise it's not gonna work. So because this is 90 cents, I put this into cents. So $1.50 is 150 cents. So $1.50 to 150 cents to 700 is what to 100. And similarly down here, this one was not only in dollars, but it was also in liters. So there's 2 things I changed. One is I called $2.29. I call it 229 cents because 100 cents and $1. And 2 liters, you may or may not know right now that 2 liters is the same as 2,000 milliliters. And if you're not too sure on those measures, but essentially the 1,000 milliliters equals 1 liter. So if you didn't know that before, you know it now. So I just said, okay, if I had 2 liters, I must have 2,000 milliliters. Okay? So you make your T chart, and we're going to do our conversion to find out what N is. We want to know the price per 100 mils, and whichever one is the lowest would be the best value. And so again, we're going to look for relationships here, and the one that I think is the most obvious in this particular case is right here. To get from 300 to 100, you divide by 3. Therefore, to get from 90 to N, you have to divide by 3. So therefore, N is going to be 90 divided by 3. Or N is 90 divided by 3 is 30. And it'll be 30 cents. Okay? So this one, for this deal here, it's 30 cents per 100 mil. It's messy, but that's supposed to say per 100 mil. So if we did the same thing, get rid of this thing. If we did the same thing over here, 700 to 100 is divided by 7. So then I have to divide by 7 to get N. So N equals 150 divided by 7. And we'll figure that one out. I'll use a calculator for that. it's a weird number, 21.4. So we'll just put 21.4. So that's the cents per, that's a per right there, 100 mil. So you can already see the idea of best buy. Obviously this one's cheaper. So far, this is our best buy. Okay? But let's just keep going and look at this one. So this one is 229 for 2,000, and again we're going to use our relationship. 2,000 divided by 100. You could put that in your calculator if you want, but the answer is 20. Okay, so if we go 2,000 divided by 20, we'll get 100. And so 229 divided by 20 will give me n. And 229 divided by 20, put that in your calculator, is, for sure that's a calculator one, 11.45. Well, clearly this is the best buy. Okay? So you don't have to do per 100 mils. You know, this particular, usually that's what they do in the grocery store. Just because it gives you a, like for example, if I wanted to put this into, if I did this example again and I did it per milliliter, you get really small numbers. And so it would be just not very nice to look at. So we do it per 100 mils. If for some reason you're dealing with really weird ones, where the number here wasn't nice and even, and so what do you divide by to get 100? You know, if it was hard to do, you could go to 1. Instead of going to 100, you could go to 1, as long as you did it for every single one. But we'll worry about that another time. So here's the questions I'd like you to work on, and I just wanted to show you something. You're going to have this in front of you. Here's the question. This should be the questions you've already done so far, and I'm going to ask that you sort of keep this chart filled out. Please let me know where you're having trouble so that I can make sure I help you as you need it. I'd like to know how you find the work, so rate, you know, you don't have to do it for the ones here, but at least starting today, rate how you find the work, and then let me take a look at your work and sign it so I see that you're keeping up. Okay, so you work on that chart today. It's all filled in, but in the future you'll fill it in on your own. And I think that's it.